Hey, this is Dr. Nick coming to you from the future of leadership. And today I am recording in the Comedy Club, the place where Comedy Central performs in Egoli, the city of gold, aka Johannesburg. And I'm doing this because I need to remind you that life is a stage. As Shakespeare said, life is a stage, but what he didn't say is that you don't perform for yourself, you perform for an audience. And your job on the stage of life is to understand your audience, is to connect with your audience, and is to move your audience and elevate your audience, to uplift your audience. This is your job on the stage of life. And today I want to share with you a very personal experience that happened to me last night when I attended the birthday party of a good friend in Johannesburg. And I happened to meet a prominent businessman. I didn't know him before, and we got chatting, and obviously when he asked me, what do you do? I was tempted to fall into the trap of the elevator pitch. Now the elevator pitch is probably the most boring, the most tedious, and the most annoying introduction, because it says nothing about you, and it says nothing about the most special part of you, which is your soul. So yesterday I dropped the elevator pitch and I shared my story. I shared my story of how I came to this country as a lecturer, how I spent 20 years researching the true legacy of King Shaka, the famous Zulu Emperor Shaka, and how I discovered the last survivor of the Ezekiel regiment who rendered his memories to a young boy from the Tugela missionary, and later on would then pen these memories to paper. And I related to him how I, through a very personal experience, applied this to myself. When on my 30th birthday, I was turning 30 and I had just gotten divorced, the company had been sold, the directors had been retrenched, and for the first time in my life I had gone out of shape. I was a very fit runner, long distance runner in Germany, and for many years I had not entered the gym, I had not entered the tarmac, I had become lazy and almost obese. And on my 30th birthday I was sitting home alone, I was looking up, and I recognized that this could not be success. I was searching for the true meaning of what makes a successful life. And I found great inspiration in the story, the life story of King Shaka, who was kicked out of the kraal at the age of 6, who lived in exile for 10 years with his mother Nandi, and was humiliated, ridiculed and beaten up, until he joined the Mtetwa tribe of King Dingiswayo and became a common soldier. And that's where he developed his innovation strategies, and today I am teaching these innovation strategies on how to apply them to develop new products, to develop new services, and to develop a new business. So I related that story, I related the meaning, and then we got chatting, I related my philosophy of life, which is all about reciprocation, because I believe life, the true meaning of life, the true success of life, is all about relationships. If you are able to build strong relationships with the people around you, you will be successful at work, in your business, in your career, and in your life. So I spent 7 years, in fact the last 7 years, to analyze what it takes to develop these strong relationships. And I found a principle that I call reciprocation, which simply means the more value you give without any hidden agenda, the stronger relationship will be. And the way you interact with people, the way you greet them, the way you look at them, the way you listen to them, the way you convey that you hold them in a special esteem, these are the cornerstones of building relationships, attracting people to you, making people to like you, to love you. And that is my philosophy of life, that it is all about relationships. Now, over the last 2 years, I came through one very transformative relationship, a relationship that was the most special relationship in my life that I let go because I forgot about this principle of reciprocation, of giving value, and I paid dearly for it. I lost a very dear relationship, and I started to analyze what does it take to build and to maintain a relationship, a special relationship in your life and at work. And as I was sharing this, my counterpart was listening attentively, and he then shared many experiences from his life, and that led him to invite me to come to his business and to share this philosophy of life and this philosophy of business and innovation strategies with his staff. So remember what I did here. There was no elevator pitch, there was no selling, there was purely opening up my soul, relating my story, sharing my philosophy of life. And this is what you have to do to make the next year your most fulfilling year ever. So there are two components. First, you have to craft your story. You have to become a really good storyteller, because life, and this phenomenon is called the hero's journey, which is a one story that transcends life. If you go look at great blockbuster movies, if you look at these stories that touch our heart, these books that move us to tears, they all revolve around the hero's journey. And the hero's journey, very simply, means that the hero goes through a struggle. The hero then discovers the solution, and he then goes on to share the solution with others, not for his own benefit, but for the benefit of others. So this is what you have to craft, what you have to communicate, what you have to share. Your story of struggle, your story of discovery, and your story of sharing for the greater benefit. That's the first dimension of sharing your soul. The second dimension is you have to dig deep, and you have to look at what are the lessons that you've learned in life. What is a golden thread, what Steve Jobs called connecting the dots, in your life and in your career? And what is the one lesson you have learned, you have mastered, you are now ready to share with others? Because remember, your job is to uplift, in fact to lift up others. There's a difference between uplifting, which is a momentarily event, and that can be to just make somebody smile in the moment or make somebody feel better, versus lifting somebody up, which means you help them to reach the next level in their life or in their career. So this is really important, and in one of the next videos I will share more about how to craft your personal story, how to leverage the hero's journey, and how to connect the dots in your life. But for now, please remember, you have to give more, you have to live more, and you have to love more as you go into the new year. And if you have a chance, please do subscribe to this channel, because I will share more experiences from my own life, what I have learned, and how this might help you to become a better person in 2018 and to have a more fulfilling life.